Mike Perla could entertain you with the help of Cheap Trick. The dweeb police, they live inside of my head. The dweeb police, they come to me in my bed. The dweeb police, they're looking for me. The charismatic voice analyst YouTuber did a video using that song recently. And ever since then, I was thinking, boy, the Dream Police. If that were real, I think that'd be the only department in any sort of authoritative policing department that the left would not want to defund. 1984, the thought police, gotta make sure whose mind is right, who believes Orange Man bad. Gotta keep track of these things. After all, this is a socialist society. Gotta keep tabs on the citizens. Yeah, this is just going to be a journal entry. With all this working I do and home improvement projects, I need to relax sometimes. So years ago, I invested in all 7 seasons of The Outer Limits. Incidentally, the old Twilight, I like all of the incarnations of the Twilight Zone series, but the old black and white one is the best one. It's the exact opposite with Outer Limits. I like all the incarnations, including the old one of Outer Limits, but the best one is this one here, the one from the 90s that aired between 95 and 99 or 98 or something like that. So I've been checking out some of the episodes on there, including an episode called The Quality of Mercy. Now, the old Outer Limits had an episode, The Quality of Mercy, as well. And it featured Dean Stockwell, Al Calavici, of Quantum Leap fame. And in the story, he played dual roles, including playing, I believe, an American soldier and an Oriental man. Now, you woke kids out there, pay attention. If you're looking to score brownie points with the left, go ahead and report this to them so they know now we have to ban and dishonor the memory of Dean Stockwell. Because he portrayed an Oriental man once in an old black and white TV show. Well, go ahead, woke kids. But in this version that... in the updated version from the Outer Limits 90s one, it actually takes place in a prison on another planet. And it's I thought it was a nice touch that it was a woman. Basically, the quality in both versions, the old black and white one with Dean Stockwell and this newer one, it basically emphasizes... humanity, human beings is the lengths that a human being will go with deception in order to get what they want, basically. Hence the title. In both versions, the old black and white one and the newer one, Quality of Mercy. It is a well-titled story. Patrick something or other, Liquid Metal guy from T2 is in that episode. But anyways, I thought it was interesting that in this version, it was a female playing the what surprise, and spoiler alert, ends up being the antagonist character. But cute as a button. I don't know, these shows, the casting directors of this show, boy, they really had a knack for finding these adorable females for these shows. But then that's why they got paid. Another episode called The Voyage Home, which basically asks the question, what would a human do the right thing? Would a human be the hero without notoriety? The only thing I can think of is U.S. soldiers over the years. how many, you know, whether it be Secret Service or whatever, how many perished, and nobody knows, you know, what you know, like George Carlin once said, we don't even know how many we have. I've never seen all of the episodes, with the exception of the first season, probably. I've never actually seen all the episodes of the 90s Outer Limits. So I'm wondering if I'll get some, as I go along and closer, you know, all 7 seasons, if I'll get a surprise and there's actually a remake of one of my favorite ones from the old one, starring one of my old-time favorite actors, Robert Culp, the man with the glass hand. That was a good old one. I don't know if they ever did. I know they did one for iRobot, which Leonard Nimoy, I haven't gotten to it yet, but Leonard Nimoy actually played the lawyer again in the new one, as he did in the old one. All right, I don't want this to be too long, but I did want to just mention a few other things. Talk about the quality of mercy. One of my favorite episodes from the first season is actually an episode called The Conversion. Damn good episode. I recorded it off TV when I was back in '95 when I was growing up, so I was well acquainted with it. But I still had to watch it because I hadn't seen it in years. It actually starts. The episode actually starts and ends with that Enigma song, "Return to Innocence." Very good episode. Then I'll just end reading my notes on some of the episodes. Some of these are new, just as I watch them now, and some of these are actually old. Because I bought this collection years ago, and I obviously started watching it, but all the other 7 seasons, all the other six seasons are still wrapped up in plastic like new. I'm gonna finally sit down and enjoy them. But there's an episode called "Corner of the Eye," which made me think. It's about this race of aliens that they look demonic, but they're trying to convince this priest that that we could give you the gift of, you know, healing. But yeah, it's a whole thing about don't judge a book by its cover, but in this case, you can judge a book by its cover because they're not. They're not too good, and this priest kind of lets notoriety kind of get away with them, or you know, get the best of them. Anyways, the episode made me think of this. Too many people would assume or believe that aliens, you know, extraterrestrials, would be benevolent. I would say, if I ever came faced with an extraterrestrial, I'd be like, "Oh, so God made you too." The response of that extraterrestrial would tell me the most important thing that I need to be aware of when going forward with dealing with them. Another episode called Dark Matters, with an S, Dark Matters, takes place in outer space where this spaceship is stuck in some sort of dark matter in space, which ends up kind of being a kind of outer space purgatory because this younger brother, his older brother Pat, died, and there was something from the past they were still working on amongst each other. And in this story, the older brother, having died but stuck in this dark matter space for a time, got a little more time to repent for his flawed human nature. And now these are the older ones. White Light Fever. When I rewatched that one, it kind of like demonizes this old guy just because he wants to live. The little gray area there. I didn't see it when I watched it when I was a kid, of course. But the plot is like Final Destiny with a more human touch, I guess. And the episode The Choice, the plot is like a more darker version of Matilda, that movie with Danny DeVito. And then some older nights, there's an episode called Virtual Future with the older brother from Goonies is in it. And it's kind of like Lawnmower Man meets The Dead Zone, that episode. Now, I actually started with disc 2 when I started watching these, But I decided I'm going to go back and watch the pilot episode called Sand Kings, part 1 and 2. Because it's been a long time since I've watched these, and I kind of want to rewatch them. just to see what my perspective on them might be now. And anyways, that's what I'm doing to unwind and shut my brain off and relax. Mike Perlak, thank you for your time. One more note. The copy that I bought is actually in English and in French, which makes me go, huh, this series must have been popular in France for some reason. Mike Perlak, thank you for your time.